One of the artists is doing in the metropolitan, which is very colorful, and other is very peaceful. आर्टिस्ट के लिए म्यूजियम्स का विजिट करना इज ए मस्ट. ऑल फॉर्म्स इज फ्रॉम द नेचर. इट शुड बी वेरी क्रिएटिव. दुनिया इतनी बड़ी है तो वी हैव टू लर्न ए लॉट ऑफ द थिंग्स.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Chaibrary. We are very happy to have with us a leading contemporary visual artist of India, Mr. Kalicharan Gupta. Hello, Mr. Kalicharan Gupta, and welcome to Chaibrary.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
We are very happy to have you with us today. And could you please tell us about your journey in art, because you have so many decades of art behind you. How did it all begin?
Oh yeah, this is not a new story, but you know this. I think it happened to everyone who just belongs to very remote areas. I'm talking about in late 60s, when I just passed out my 10th class in 64. And then every parent that time, I think so, they were just the son or the girls. It should be engineer and doctors. There is no third line. That time, the headmaster, Professor the Bakshi, he was the principal. So he just requested to my father कि लाला जी आप इसको क्या बोला, आप ड्राइंग में भेजिए क्योंकि सर ड्राइंग बहुत अच्छा है. सर आप क्या बात कर रहे हैं, मैंने तो अपने लड़के को इंजीनियर बनाना है. So my father just put me in DAV College, Jalandhar. And when I just admitted, the first problem was that because in the villages, the teachers, you can't find out the very good teachers. We learned the ABC in 8th class. And I just took the English medium after the 10th class. That was the prep in the engineering line. So we could not move. Then I had to come back again. And father got in the admissions in the Jamia Millia in 65. So we stay in 65 to 68-7. In the 2 years, that was the course of the drawing teachers. We know that only the drawing teacher was there and nothing the other third line. Because who passed out the earlier one, so they came from the College of Art, and that they were just telling it, there is a lot of the opportunity कि इसके बाद भी पढ़ाई है, इसके बाद भी कॉलेज है. Is 5 years or the 7 years? But I request to my father in 67 कि नहीं वो मेरे को तो एडमिशन लेना है. कह रहे हमने जितना पढ़ाना था आपको पढ़ा दिया, अपने आप नौकरी करो, अपने आप पढ़ो. मैं कि ये तो गड़बड़ है पढ़ा कि, बट आई हैव टू स्टडी फर्दर. तो आई जस्ट रिमेंबर I got the admissions in JJ School of Art, Bombay, by correspondence. And can you come and submit your fees and that your admission is confirmed. But my father is not allowing it to Delhi, so how they just can send it to Bombay. But luckily is my elder brother, so he was in Delhi, so he said, no, you just come to me, stay with me and complete your all degree. So I did it. I got the admission over there. तब पता चला कि ये तो आर्ट तो बहुत बड़ा फील्ड है, इज अ बिग फील्ड, इट्स नॉट देन स्मॉल थिंग. एंड मेरे मामा जी के लड़के होते थे फ्रॉम चावड़ी बाजार, तो ही वॉज ए काउंसलर मेंबर ऑन दैट टाइम. तो ही मेक हिज ओन सर्टिफिकेट, क्योंकि इवनिंग में वही ले सकता था जो जॉब करता हो. तो ही मेड देन सर्टिफिकेट दैट मिस्टर सो एंड सो, सन ऑफ सो एंड सो, जस्ट इज वर्किंग विद मी, आई एम पेइंग इज दिस मनी. आई सबमिट द फॉर्म, माई एडमिशन इज कंफर्म. तो आई थिंक सो इज देन द टू बीइंग द 1 year and 12 days is the strike in the college. तो 2 बैच इकट्ठे हो गए एक साथ. तो my the second batch of the BFA. Previously it was national diploma, then it was merged to the affiliated to Delhi University that time. So we passed out it. I in touch with these all good professors from over there. But in the Jamia, when we were in the second year, so 2 teachers, Mr. Ramachandran and Mr. Paramjit Singh, they also liked my work. But after passing in college, so although is a lot of the professors from the college just very good, but एक जैसे छाप छोड़ जाता है. But I was very much interested in the work of Ramachandran. Okay. If you see my all previous figures, this is a life-size figures, and who they are very muscles and something. If you see the Ramachandran works is previously that one, that is very bold works. So I just painted about a lot of these figurative works on that time. So my the journey in art start like this, and was very happy कि I'm in art and I'm doing is much better than the all others.
This is really amazing because उस टाइम आजकल ही बच्चों को इतना फोर्स किया जाता है that you get into engineering, get into medical, but at that time to have resisted it, to be sure कि आपको यही करना है और आपने यही किया,
Yes.
it is like totally amazing.
And the second is this, but to run although in the college, so my brother, he requested me that why don't you have some other job? So he located one job of the cashier. It was in Faridabad, and I was living that time in Malcha Marg, and I was going over there, from there to Dholakwa to Ashram to Faridabad, and back in the evening. I have to reach into colleges.
My God.
Colleges 6 to 8:30, then 8:30 to reach my house is about 9, after 9. So every day, that was my life. Although we worked hard, but side by side, and they were just giving me 150 rupees for a month. So it was sufficient that time. So, and then colleges something. So we were in the evening, lot of my seniors and professors, and even my is a very good friend of me, is Professor Jyoti A. So he was 2 years senior to me in the Delhi college. So he passed out in 73. So we were just all together from that.
आपको कभी ऐसा नहीं लगा सेल्फ डाउट के पीपल हाउ विल यू मेक अ लिविंग आउट ऑफ आर्ट बिकॉज दैट्स वन ऑफ द मेन यू नो इफ अ चाइल्ड सेज दैट आई वांट टू गो इनटू फोटोग्राफी आई वांट टू बी एन आर्टिस्ट पीपल से आप गुजारा कैसे करोगे हाउ विल यू मैनेज सो आपको एट दैट मोमेंट ऑफ टाइम यू वर सो हाउ वर यू सो कन्विंस्ड दैट एंड टुडे यू आर अ वेरी कमर्शियली सक्सेसफुल आर्टिस्ट बट एट दैट टाइम हाउ डिड यू थिंक दैट यू विल मेक इट in this world of art?
But thing is this, there is a little change in my life. We passed out in 74 December. Luckily, I just got married in 74 December, 8th December. And 9th of December, it was a submission of the final year. I went to invite that Vishwanath Mukherjee, who was the principal that time. So, and some other brushes in my hand, and other one is in the card invitation. Oh, Baba, तुम हमारे कॉलेज का है ऐसे करो, you just submit your it was on Saturday. So okay, don't come on Monday because the marriage day is a submission. You submit the work today only. You go and enjoy that. But my wife, she was in job in State Bank. So I think so side by side. So there was no worry about money. So I was just doing it. Like, okay, let me do my work. So we never worried, and but luckily I just got the job in a school. This is an International Lions Club school, and I stay over there more than 30 years. And I joined the Gadi in 82, but my routine was from home to school, school to Gadi, and Gadi to back to my pavilion. Because in Gadi also, so I set up these studios and worked over there. Regular workings completely. Lot of the things I did, but I little got the good response what I've been doing. People, they accept my work, my style, and so this is the way I just continuing till today.
So you're talking about your work and style. It has, as we are, you know, as I observed, it has been developing very beautifully over the years, but initially you were doing both abstract and figurative, but slowly you see an effacement of the figurative and you're now a leading abstract artist of India. So how did this change, or what was the journey from figurative to abstract to discovering your style?
Yeah, this is, I think so, is a good question, and a lot of them people asking it. Kalicharan, what happened to you? क्या हुआ क्या तुमको? But you are just doing is very good. Although all my figurative, it just is a nudity, but you never feel is there any nudity in my figures. I mold the figures like this, and I got a very good response to the galleries. I think so. The starting of my paintings, the lines are there. The figurative work comes later, but is the dropping from the top to the bottom is from the very beginning. Even if you see my all drawings, They are all the same textures. And then colleges also, the hatching lines and the lines are there. After that, I'm the big canvases. Why the big canvases? This is also one of the reason. Because after in the college, I went to no space to work, even to live. I've got only one room, and my mother was there, my younger brother, my wife is only one room. Toilet, it was attached. There is no place to work. So just I was doing the drawings, small drawings. So it's I think about 18 years I did only black and white drawings. When I got the job, sometimes the periods are free. I was the painting drawings over there and just have the exhibitions. I started my careers from Tirvani Gallery, small gallery. The frames like this one, you take out the drawing and you put the other drawings. And 5 solo shows, it was in that Taj Art Gallery, Bombay. Very good response. It was the second show in the Tirvani. Dr. Sehare, who was the director of the NGMA, he bought my first work from there. Mr. Bruta and Dr. Sehare, both, they entered it. They like my one work. So that was the cost on that time, it was at 2,000 rupees. And after seeing this, the price list, he was to Mr. Kalish, 2,000 rupees drawing. So in that Baruta, I think so, he just made me that, sir, क्या frame, steel का frame लगा हुआ है, कागज ही 100-150 रुपए का तो पेपर ही है जो उसे यूज़ किया है, फिर ड्राइंग किया है, फ्रेम लगाया है, तो अब क्या करेंगे? कह रहे नहीं सर, देखो कालीचरण ऐसा है, तुम्हारा पहला ड्राइंग है, एनजीए में जा रहा है, मैं इसके 500 रुपए दूंगा बस. When they just leaving, तो Bruta just came from that, they left the gate. कालीचरण तुम ये काम दे आना, पहला काम एनजीए में जा रहा है, क्या जरूरत? From that work, when I got the money, I've got one Elvira. 300 रुपए का मैंने अलमारी खरीदी, वो अभी भी मेरे पास है, book shelf, and 200 some books, all are just with me. So you know this, how it starts. People like the figurative, I just continued it. There was one gallery in Singapore. They bought a lot of the work. It was just be sending my work, figurative role किया भेज दिया. So I just come up with very well in figurative work. But when I attach with the galleries, the culture, आपका work both, even the abstract work is also is good. The way of working you have to start the working in this abstract form, right? And then after that you take then figurative. Yes. So okay, leave the figurative. As it is, you do something in that one. So I come up again on the abstract work. I never use the pencil, I never use the scale, no charcoal, no pencil outline. I have to drop from the top to the bottom, very straight one. So this is the way of my working.
That's really interesting. And the technique that you use, your drip painting or drip technique, and the preponderance of lines, ये आपका पहले से you were into it right from the beginning. So
Yeah.
would you like to talk about your technique a bit? And it's become your hallmark actually, your technique. And were you influenced by Jackson Pollock or any other artist?
When I drop then colors, so many things comes later on. You are not going to copy it. You have to change yourself. All expressions, all the way of working come all together. So I just see the way, which way is better for them, or how you can do it much better if you do, or if you add, or you something you extract from the paintings. So that it will be much better. Because your experience, you learn, everyone learns from their experiences. This is the main thing. If you will not work, you can't learn anything. The whole life I just painted in the small canvases or small paper and something. So I'm just talking about 95. So I just participated in the first Biennale of Korea. And there was the commissioner, who is Kwang Shu Oh. He was the director of the National Museum of Contemporary Art. So he was my commissioner. That time I was the director of this Gadi Studios, 94 to 97, 3 years. So he selected 2 artists. One from Jammu is Ravinder Jamwal, is a sculptor. So he has seen his work in the National Museum. He visited my studio, then did the tour. So he see my the big work, figurative work. So he selected my works, and I just went to Korea. I think so. It was my second visit in Korea. It's 1995. So when we see that the Biennale, तो वो कहते हैं जैसे आंखें खुल जाती है, इतना बड़ा आपको कैंपस मिलता है देखने के लिए. तो lot of changes in my work comes after that. Then after that, 2017, and this is the first, I think so, the solo show. It was in India Art Fair. So I did it, a big work. It's a 12 feet by 6 feet. Although it is one in diptych, only diptych, every diptych it was in the diptych one. It went, these are 4 paintings all together. This is one of the best period in my life and the best work which I try to produce. The way of working on these canvases, जो आप कह रहे थे कि आप कलर्स थ्रो करते हैं ये करते हैं, तो ये I never just try to copy any artist. Okay, the working of that artist is completely different from me.
Yes. So what I'm trying to figure out here is that you have not been at all afraid to just put your vision across. So that is what I find really fascinating. But I'm also thinking, जैसे आपने एक सीरीज का नाम सुपरमैटिज्म आपने नाम दिया. Coming again back to influences, do you think that this series is influenced by suprematism and but it's not really suprematism? It seems to be that you have given your own very unique individuality and vision to this entire series of paintings. Do you have anything to say about that?
You know, we were just talking earlier. When I just got the job, I was appointed to teach in the school up to that grade, the geometrical forms. So that impression, so it lies in my mind when a person is worked about 30 years that in the school, उसकी जो छाप है वो मेरे माइंड में हमेशा रही, वो ही फॉर्म्स भी रही. But although I just changed in the paintings, if you see my all previous drawings, completely is what just, और या तो सुपरमेटिज्म मेरे को रखना नहीं आया या याद नहीं रहा ये वर्ड्स का, but I can use these words over there up to that. Geometrical form is not only the 3 forms, circle and the triangle and one is square, but there are a lot of the forms are there. But all that forms is from the nature. उससे बड़ा तो कोई आर्टिस्ट ही नहीं हुआ, नेचर से तो बड़ा. Or every artist on this earth, we learn from the nature. Each and everything is from there. Nothing is new. I think so. I can't say that I'm an artist, I'm just doing such thing which is not in the world. All forms is from the nature. The colors also. So I just try to create something good which is seen the very first time that this type of the work that Kalicharan did it is a signature work now. So I'm just doing is my way of the working, be in the drawing, the paintings from top to the bottom with the lines or the sketching line. So I'm doing it.
Yes, thank you. This is very interesting because जैसे आपने कहा कि आप basic geometrical form से limited नहीं हैं, and therefore you have your own very personal vision, which is also you're very close to nature and you try to, you know, all the forms, colors that we see, they're all a part of nature. That is absolutely true. And I was very intrigued because आपका जो ये Metropolis series है, इसमें there is a very interesting spiritual dimension जिसमें आपके colors you're using very limited colors. There are these lines, there are parallelisms, there is a piling of line after line, and it somehow feels that, you know, modern living or urban living may not be all that bad. I think you're bringing out another perspective there, a much more meditative, spiritual perspective. Any thoughts on this?
यदि मेट्रोपॉलिटन की अगर हम लोग बात करें तो मेट्रोपॉलिटन इज नॉट ओनली फॉर द सिटीज they have some particular subjects, because you know lot of people are coming, leaving their the villages far from the cities. They are the 2-3 things why they are coming to the cities only, because there is one is स्टीकी चकाचौंध जो होती है, दूसरा होता है पेट की भूख, उसको खाना भी चाहिए, ये भी चाहिए, और दूसरा इंटरटेनमेंट मेथड्स तो दूसरा दो ये मेथड है कि मेट्रोपॉलिटन सिटीज हैं, बट दे आर कमिंग अप वेरी फास्ट, नॉट इन माई कंट्री, ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड इज लाइक दिस. अगर 20, 25, 30 सालों में वो सिटीज जितनी हैं मेट्रोपॉलिटन, वो वेदर इज इन माई कंट्री और इन अदर कंट्रीज, दे आर जस्ट फ्लोइंग लाइक एनीथिंग. उससे 25, 30, 40 किलोमीटर तक दूर दूर तक बिल्डिंग ही बिल्डिंग बनती जा रही है, एंड देयर इज नो ब्रीथिंग स्पेस. आई थिंक अभी 50 साल में तो चलो कुछ नहीं, बट 100 ईयर्स में मेरे को नहीं पता कि ये 100 ईयर में हमको सांस मिलने के लिए जगह मिलेगी. दिस इज अनदर प्रॉब्लम विद द पॉपुलेशन. Everyone, every citizen, if they will not throw not a single paper or something on the road, our country will be very clean. So these are the things. So I just paint a lot of the paintings on this one. Side by side, we need little peace. And I paint, I think, three years, the paintings on the Buddhas series. When I visited Korea, visited their temples, so I paint some work, but they are all big work and completely peaceful. There is no bright colors, very subsidized colors. Most probably the grayish color I used it, and the colors is something, but they are on very in the low profiles as colors are there. So artist has to do so many work, so many style or so many the meaning of the work. So people, they should understand it. One of the artist is doing in the metropolitan, which is very colorful. This dance, drama, shor, sharaba, lighting, whiting, ye, wo, and other is the temples are there, which is just is very, very peaceful. So I'm just doing the work on the metropolitan. It's not yet over. I think so. When it be over, I will just paint it on the other title.
That's interesting. Again, coming back to your series, what I also think is that आपकी जो painting, जैसे आप कह रहे हैं कि agricultural lands, अभी आप कि agricultural lands are disappearing, there are too many buildings. So this whole series is actually showing not just the presence, but also the absence of the law, of the fields, of the agricultural lands that are disappearing. And as you very rightly said, spirituality का जैसे आप कह रहे हैं, एक टेक इसका ये भी है that आपकी जो lines का repetition हो रहा है, that itself, is very meditative to the viewer. The repetition itself is meditative, and there is an element of spirituality even in your other series that I have often observed. This kind of spirituality, जैसे आप कह रहे हैं बुद्धा series आपने किया, you have been exposed to a number of cultures, and you've also been journeying internationally. You are a very acclaimed international presence, and you have actively collaborated with Korea. Could you tell us something about that?
I learned a lot of the things on this parallelism also. Mr. Kisha Malik, my mentor, so I learned a lot of the things from him. मेरे को इसमें कहने में कोई वो भी नहीं है, मेरे में कमियां भी बहुत हैं. अभी तो मैं थोड़ा बहुत बोल लेता हूँ. पहले तो हम लोग कुएं के मेंढक ही थे, तो वो कुएं के मेंढक बाहर आ गए, तो देखा कि दुनिया इतनी बड़ी है, तो वी हैव टू लर्न ए लॉट ऑफ द थिंग्स. अगर इसकी अगर हम लोग बात करें इंटरनेशनल, दैट इज द फर्स्ट इंटरनेशनल आई जस्ट गॉट ए चांस टू पार्टिसिपेट थ्रू द ललित कला अकेडमी. दे जस्ट मेक मी ए वन कमिश्नर इन 1991. This international the Biennale of Seychelles in 1991. I moved over there. It might be the first visit, and then second chance is in 1995. 1995, we are just talking about this the first Biennale of in Korea. It was then the second visit to then Korea in internationals one. Then after that, I liked a lot of the things in Korea. Little similar. Our culture, although the language is completely different. Now third word, it was in 1997 through the ICCR. It's a golden jubilee of our India independence. So I did it in Vladivostok. So one of my just friends over there, so he did it. Then I just have that program over there, and they were the only two on the three artists over there, me and one is Jagdish Chandra. We went to the Vladivostok. There's the same problem with the language problem. And after that, I've got one of my friend, Professor Manyang Fang. He was a professor in Mokwan University. So he good friends. He just visit as a tourist in India, came to Delhi and met me in Garhi. So by this person, we able to have India and Korea exchange programs. So we just started, Mr. Gupta, okay, better, we have to start that program from India. Okay, मैं समझ रहा कि वो कोरिया में करेंगे तो चलो अच्छा होगा, पर नो, ओके. आई थिंक बैंक अकाउंट तो था पर पैसा कोई नहीं था, 10-15-20 हज़ार रुपए. तो व्हाट वी डिड, वी डिसाइडेड कि एक एक आर्टिस्ट को ले लेगा, अपने घर ले जाएगा एयरपोर्ट से ही. एंड यस एंड नो के सिवाय ले तो गए, घर तो लेके गए, बट दे फील इज कंप्लीटली एलूफ. यस एंड नो, यस एंड नो. एवरी आर्ट सर को पकड़ के ऐसे बाल के सर, दे वर बिकम मैड कंप्लीटली. सो वन ऑफ माई फ्रेंड इज दैट प्रोफेसर, बिकॉज ही वॉज द प्रोफेसर, ही कैन जस्ट स्पीक इन इंग्लिश. तो बोला कि मिस्टर गुप्ता, कांट यू डू इट, कांट वी लिव इन वन प्लेस. तो वी अरेंज वन प्लेस इन जनपथ होटल. ज्योति, यू कांट बिलीव इट, वो ऐसे मिले जिन कितने सालों से आपस में नहीं मिले, गले मिले, आंसू निकले. तो दे वर जस्ट स्टे ओवर देयर, एंड फ्रॉम दैट वी चेंज सम टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस ऑफ द ट्रस्ट. तो वी दैट कि एवरी ट्रस्टी और एवरी मेंबर हैव टू कंट्रीब्यूट ईयरली सम मनी, so we can do them program after year end too. So till now we are doing these programs, India and Korea. One thing is this, what we learned from there, वहाँ पर कोई भी बड़ी अगर बिल्डिंग है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल इतना बड़ा जो स्टूडियो है या इतना बड़ा ऑफिस है, एक स्कल्पचर का होना आपका इज ए मस्ट. एंड नॉट ए सिंगल यूनिवर्सिटी एंड द स्कूल विदाउट आर्ट. सो दे आर ऑल प्रोफेसर एंड दे आर ऑल वेरी हेल्पफुल. So, and our India and Korea, that programs we are doing it thanks to my country. They also is very good relations with the Korea, and so we are just continuing the international shows. So language is not necessary for an artist; they can do it.
That's wonderful. And actually, as you said, it becomes so important to learn and understand the finer points of other cultures. This kind of collaborative exercise really helps us understand and also try to imbibe those things in our own society. It has been such an amazing journey and it's been so fascinating to be hearing this from you. I just want to ask you one final question. What is your take on art and creativity?
I think, first of all, before the creative, you must be the very good human being. Number two, you should be very disciplined. आर्टिस्ट के लिए म्यूजियम्स का विजिट करना इज ए मस्ट. नंबर 3, इफ यू आर स्टेइंग इन माई इंडियन, you must know about our culture. And after that, it should be very creative.
These are extremely profound words, and I really thank you for being with us, for giving us your very, very valuable insights. Thank you so much. Chaibrary brings eminent personalities from the world of art, literature, and cinema to you. Do like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Press the bell icon for latest updates. Please follow us on our social media. We thank you for your love and support.